The day after the history-making night before, Rome was again at its easygoing and stylish best. The crowds had swapped St. Peter's for Piazza Navona, but all with a new presence at the top of the church that has such dominion over this city.
Just helping out the poor.
Of all of the young men who aspire to the priesthood, a lucky few get to study here at the Vatican. And of those, an even luckier few get to be here during a conclave. Dave Tomaszicki and Brian Shackett were classmates at Marine City High School, now classmates in Rome and loving their front row seats.
Who else in the world but the Holy Father can cause so many people so excited to fall silent with a few words? And we all fell silent in joy and in prayer.
The unmatched view from the top of the North American College lets you look right down into St. Peter's, but that wasn't close enough. The moment demanded a run down the hill and into the crowd.
When the white smoke came, we shut our umbrellas, we ducked under everyone else's umbrella and worked our way. We were literally 3 rows from the front.
Is that priestly behavior?
We didn't push anyone. We just kind of, just worked our way up.
Both Dave and Brian have been clearly energized, not only by a new pope, but by the North American Cardinals who've been staying at the college. All certainly worth a call back home.
At about 2 a.m. I called home and finally was able to give them a little bit of the story. My voice was going. I was dead tired, but it was great.
You can't go wrong. It's just Tuesday, though.
Today was a day of celebration. If the party was in the nation's capital, then Detroiters felt they needed to be here.
I was here 4 years ago, and I'm just really excited to be back here again.
No matter where we turned, we found Detroiters. When we arrived at the National Mall, it seemed like they were everywhere, like the Madison family.
It is so unreal being an educator, and just my father had the opportunity to see a black president, and it's just so unreal.
I was here 4 years ago, and I wanted to continue the history and come out and support the fact that it was very important that we re-elected President Obama so that he can continue the great works he's done in the past 4 years.
For one man, getting separated from his wife in a crowd this size might have been more concerning, but not on this inauguration day.
I got separated from my wife earlier. She's on one side of the mall. We can't get to the other side because of security, so we're just going to try to find her later on.
So what are you going to do?
Her phone is dying. We're just made a central meet spot prior, and we're going to hit to that meet spot, and hopefully she'll remember.
Back there in Vinton, Michigan, a family sat and watched the news, worrying, not knowing if their loved one was okay. Back here at Sandy Hook, Lisa Marlin, she found herself in the midst of a massacre.
My primary job at Sandy Hook is in the math department, but for a half hour every day, I work in the lunchroom with those first graders. And I know 15 of them very well.
Lisa Marlin can't believe her little first graders are gone.
You know, I tell them to sit on their bottoms, and I give them forks, and I hear about their loose teeth, and I hear about their play dates.
Fond memories in such a difficult time. Marlin is from Vinton, Michigan. Most of her family is still there. But Friday morning, hundreds of miles away from home, Marlin found herself in the middle of a massacre.
2 coworkers and I got into a tiny little supply closet, and we heard pops that we knew were shots, and we prayed with all our might. We named every single teacher we could think of, and all the students.
Then horrific screams over the intercom. Marlin not knowing if the gunman is coming to her room next.
You know, I was scared. I was wondering what it would feel like if I were to get shot.
What happens next? Does it just stop and then you walk out?
No, we heard the custodian of the school running by. It sounded like he was talking on the cell phone, so he must have called 911. He said it's still happening. We started hearing loud voices telling the kids to get out of the classroom. And at that point, you know, we're wondering, is that a policeman or is it the shooter trying to get us to come out?
Then a loud rhythmic stomping sound.
I just knew it was boots running down the hallway, and I just knew it was a policeman with work boots on or whatever they would wear, and I felt like it was going to be stopping soon.
The terror did stop. A SWAT team moved in and made the gruesome discovery. Marlin lost her principal. fellow teachers, and the little ones who held a special place in her heart. 20 children were found dead in their classroom.
I am very, very sad for their parents. They were all wonderful, wonderful kids. They didn't deserve this.
Now, thankfully, that terror did stop, but for Marlon and the rest of the nation, the grieving continues. We're live in Newtown, Connecticut tonight. I'm Chauncey Glover, Local 4.
Good evening once again from Rome. What's in a name? A great deal if you are talking about the unofficial title that's been bestowed upon Pope John Paul II by his most ardent admirers. It has piqued curiosity, caused a lot of speculation, but also could have history-making significance. They were the last and the lucky. As others behind them were turned away, they moved forward. They passed the time singing, speculating about the next pope, and they also read in line about people standing in line. After 12 hours, they cheered as they came within sight of St. Peter's. These Ann Arbor natives flew in from Florida late yesterday.
Just like everyone said it was going to be, just beautiful.
The line was so big, they had to split it in two. And again, the heat of the day and cold of the night took its toll. Souvenir vendors were trying to revive this woman who had collapsed unconscious in the street. An estimated 5,000 were treated for exhaustion. Most were easily revived with a little treatment. While that number seems large, when you consider more than 3 million came down these streets, medical attendants say percentage-wise, this is better than most concerts they staff.
We're doing pretty well. We have a good sponsor up there that's really helping us. It is incredible to think that with 4 million people, I want to talk about numbers here, we worked, we had so little to do.
They are trying to clean up the tons of debris left behind by mourners. Popping water bottles echoed like firecrackers in the night. It took 9 hours for these sisters from Cincinnati to fly here. Their wait in line was nearly twice as long.
Really glad I did it. It's quite an experience.
From Rome, I'm Guy Gordon, Local 4.
The point of ignition, the tumbling of a cymbal, and then eruption.
This is the last hours in his life. That's it. The time is over now. The game is over.
The streets of Dearborn filled with expatriates in spontaneous celebration. As many reasons to hate.
Saddam killed my dad, like 8 years ago.
The more reason to cheer. Give me a sense of what this is like for you today.
Like I born today. Like this is my day, my born day.
A poster of Saddam Hussein with vampire fangs surrounded by skulls is shredded and kicked. And what's old is now new again. The original Iraqi flag, minus the Arabic writings put on by Saddam Hussein.
This is the flag, the original flag for Iraqi people. This is the Iraqi flag, like not Saddam flag.
In some cases, handmade and flown for the first time in more than 35 years.
She was driving for 20 minutes trying to get away, but when she stopped at a red light, her car took a beat down. I'm Chauncey Glover. You want to see this story coming up on Local 4 at 6.
This is one crazy road rage story that includes 6 women and baseball bats. Police say it all started when a Detroit woman driving down I-75 accidentally cut off a Charger. Well, that ticked off the driver. She became so angry, she started following the woman.
Why would you go so far out of your way to harass somebody?
That's scary, man. I'd be scared. I wouldn't know what to do.
And police tell me this woman was terrified, so she kept driving for 20 minutes.
Then the woman trying to lose the Charger darted off on 11 Mile, slamming into 2 cars in the process. But the Charger was still on her tail.
The girl's gone wild.
The woman stopped and 5 women got out of the Charger and ambushed her car.
Police say then the 5 sluggers got out of their car with baseball bats and went to work,
busting out the windows and the windshield and banging up the car.
It's quite unladylike, but most people don't have parents that's teaching them how to be ladies anymore.
Police are now searching for these dangerous divas. Detectives tell me the victim wasn't hurt, but her car took quite a licking.
I cut people off all the time. It really scares me.
Believe it or not, but I'm standing smack dab in the middle of Interstate 75, and if I wanted to, I could take a swim. Now, just to give you a better idea of how deep this water is, I'm about 5'9" tall, and you see the water is almost here to my waist, and I'm not even at the deepest portion. Now, there are several roads still here closed this evening, so if you're going to be traveling up north, I've got one word for you: patience, because you're going to need it. Floodwaters left people stranded in their cars on I-75.
You just see cars getting washed down the road. And
some cars fully submerged, roadways closed, traffic at a standstill, water standing 5 feet on the highway.
Very frustrating. You have no idea.
And Mother Nature's wrath isn't just affecting the roads.
We're trying to actually pick up and salvage what we can.
This poor Genesee County family is trying to save their home. It's almost underwater.
The water from everywhere, their business and that business all floods and drains in here.
Take a look at the basement. It's completely underwater.
We lost about lawnmower, we lost couches, chairs, televisions.
Now the Van Camp family and drivers caught in the middle of Mother Nature's mess just want this day to be over.
I think it's been kind of wild.
Now, neighbors are coming to that family's rescue back here on the roads. We're told crews are still pumping that water out, and it's slowly being pumped out. They're going to be working here throughout the night. I'm told by road commissioners Interstate 75 should be back open in the next day or so. We're live this evening in Genesee County. I'm Chauncey Glover, Local 4.
People are homeless, you know, it's cold out here. You know, it's hard to get by.
People just having a hard time, that's all. We just trying to make up for it.
We have two trucks. We have the GMC and the Ford. They're all full in the back seat and in the back here. And these are men's bags.
I put love into each one. I try to color coordinate everything in there. And it's just to say to each one, hey, you know, we're all in this together, basically.
I didn't have the holiday spirit until I come out the door, so thank God. It's a good day. Oh, I got blanket and a hoodie vest.
The blanket, a bag, and the food from the trucks, you know. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is heartwarming for me, and it's gonna make somebody happy.
Got hot chocolate?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not.
You're not hiding it?
No.
Can I ask them?
Yeah.
We think it's cold. The people on the street, that's really cold for them.
There's so many people down here that need these people on a daily basis, not just during the holiday, every day.
You give stuff to people on the street like that, and they're just ecstatic, and they need it too. They really need it.
We couldn't do all this on our own, so everyone can do something wherever they are.
God loves you. You know he does if you give him a chance. Amen.